It was for bullying.
For the task force?
Yeah, it's like our second to last meeting. We were doing all the last minute touches and voting on amendments and things like that. And as we move forward and said, okay, well, we like this, we like this, we don't like this. This doesn't make sense, blah, blah, blah. We shouldn't add that. I don't think that's realistic, blah, blah, blah.
How do you feel that's gone, this whole process? Do you feel like it's been successful? Are you making some headway? Will there be some changes made?
I think it's been really successful. It's a really amazing group of people that they've gathered who are all very well-versed and experts in their field. We have lawyers, we have legislatures, we have experts in anti-bullying training, school officials, and the Minnesota Department of Education Commissioner is on the task force, and also the Human Rights Commissioner is on the task force. So it's a very talented pool of people, and I felt really honored to be on that group. So yeah, I think I'm really proud of the work that we've done, and I think this report is going to be pretty amazing, and we might even be looked at nationally by other states who are looking to strengthen their anti-bullying laws and policies.
I did utilize that report quite a bit for my bullying speech.
Good.
I did.
Good.
I felt like kind of a big shot that I had such good information.
Did you find some things on there that were new and surprising, or did you learn stuff that you didn't know about? Or?
Not necessarily, but I think that's because I'm in a field that we talk about that a lot. But I did like that it was very organized and it was pretty specific as to what needs to happen for us to make any headway on the issue. And I thought it was very common sense, and it was all things that just made sense. But I think it's important that it's put down on paper somewhere, and that can be handed to everybody and say, this is what needs to occur if you want to make a difference.
Yeah. So as a teacher, do you feel that it's realistic as an educator that it's going to be something you can implement in your classrooms?
Here's the thing. The thing I liked the best about the report was the emphasis on community involvement and parental involvement, because that's key. Most kids aren't bullying in front of my face. It's not happening where I'm seeing it. Because when it does, it's addressed. But even, I feel as an educator that, sometimes my hands are tied. Like, I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do to effectively stop it. Other than stopping, reteaching, addressing what just happened, that's my power. I mean, I don't have power beyond that. And it's unfortunate that, it's just an issue that I can't fix. It has to be a systemic solution to it that goes far beyond anything I can possibly do. I mean, even administration. So what, you're going to give a kid detention? You're going to suspend them? You're going to call home? Okay.
I think it's a societal shift. I think it's not just about bullying, but I think it's also recreating a safer school environment for academic achievement for students. If you have kids that are afraid, and it doesn't matter if it's about bullying, if they're being bullied, but if they see other students being bullied, just the atmosphere of it, if it's a negative atmosphere, how could you be successful? How are you going to be in the world if that's what you see growing up? Is that's going to be the way that the world is going to be, and the way, look at, when you read the news, oh my gosh, just the type of hate and anger that is out there. It's like, why can't, we have an opportunity to be able to change the climate of society if we do it with young people. Young people.
We talk a lot about, like, when we see things like this happen, and when we do contact parents and try to get parents involved, a lot of times we have this reaction like, I get it now. It makes sense. After meeting your mom, I totally get it. Why you are the way you are, because your mom is a bully or your dad is a bully, and they have these behaviors. And so how do you combat that then? I mean, because then it's two different messages. This behavior is unacceptable at school, but you go home and this is the way your parents talk about other people, or they defend your actions,
or they blame others.
Right, and so
don't take accountability for their actions.
And so that's always really frustrating.
I think the only way And one of the best ways is to just model that behavior for the students, and also be a strong mentor. Most parents who are ineffective parents, most of the time are absent. Physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever it may be. But if you have an opportunity to touch a child's life, 5 days a week, 8 hours, whatever, an hour a day, or whatever it may be, you can let them know, this is more of an acceptable behavior in society, as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is not going to go over as you move forward into, like, professional world, into the real world, basically.
Right.
You can get away with it now, but you're not gonna be successful in the world if you continue to behave this way.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends. You have to look at your parents. Are your parents successful? Do they have good relationships? And those are things that you can point out to young people. And I don't hesitate to call out parents and say, you need to be accountable for your children. You need to be a better role model for them. Because do you want them to continue to be the way that you are? Are you happy with your life? Are you happy with the way that your life is turning out? Because most people aren't, if they honestly answered that question.
You have some latitude, though, where you're able to say things
I
like
can.
that.
I do because I work in a nonprofit. I work within the schools, but in partnership with schools. So I don't have to follow those certain guidelines, and I can do that. And I think in my position to be able to train young people, going into classrooms and training young people, I can do that and say that. But I also know that teachers do have a limit, but I know that also just being kind to each other, teachers doing that with each other, and to be real, there are administrators and staff and teachers that bully each other, and that needs to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So